Well, hello. Welcome to correction to Leipzig on the Leipzig to Dresden route by Dota Games. I'm sure this video is due out today, I believe. So we're going to hop up into the cab of the Railpool 193. We're on EC259. I believe it's Copernicus, this one. So I believe this is basically what this is supposed to be. It has a sleeper train comes from Zurich. And basically some coaches continue to Prague, but I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be. But we've got a 363 on the back. Let go the coaches. Right, we'll let go the shunter. In the cab, we'll quickly get set up, so we'll key on the desk. It should be, yeah, unlock doors, perfect. For some reason the train now looks like this, so quickly just do that. It does nothing important on there, but just set the screens up to our liking. Works first time, fascinating. In fact, we can go a little higher. There we go. We'll turn on the train supply. That now means we're heating the coaches. And we'll turn our headlights to map forced. All the safety systems go on. So we've now got headlights, tick, and PZB, LZB, and CFO. So our stops today are Riesa, Dresden Neustadt, and Dresden Ausbahnhof, where another colleague will take it to somewhere in Czechia where a Czech driver takes over and runs it the rest of the way to Prague. Let me just get my notation. Nope. Okay, up during the journey because I've got this part memorised. So is that time for us? Yes, it is. There we go, that is doors closed throughout. So reverse goes forward. We'll let the brake off. We take power. I'll take about half power as we move away. Our release is from restricted monitoring. So you can see the first signals are green, go straight up to 60 now. So most of the expresses go down that side of the depot. We're going around the back of the depot here at Leipzig. So you can see the 363 there and a bunch of IC coaches. I actually researched. So IC259, like I say, comes through. I don't even think it goes to via Leipzig. I think it runs via the high-speed lines to Dresden Neustadt. But basically, when I was researching it, the website I used shows the train composition, because I was wondering, like, is it a seated train? Is it a sleeper train? What is it? It's a seated train that runs through the night. So no beds, you just sit there being miserable. Sorry, just had to stretch that. But so you're sitting there being miserable. But brain go broke, sorry about that. But yes, they've used sort of similar composition to this. It's normally a Czech Vectron with Czech or CD coaches on. So the loco's plausible, I guess, as a rail pool. You could I guess at least a loco to České dráhy. But basically, there was also a day where probably the Vectron hadn't come through for whatever reason, or it's been failed, and they ran it from Berlin-Ausbahnhof to Dresden-Neustadt as a ICE 2, which is basically the Dostos, which is just insane. It's just insane. Oh, sorry. I promise I'm not going to use the HUD beyond this. There we go. This thing will absolutely storm up to 160. Now, this is a setup issue with the safety systems on the train. If I was to disable the LZB, I could run at 200 in the LZB area because there is chunks of 200 kmh running here. However, the train won't let me. Now, Vmax 200, so the Vectron's licensed for it. And these are all the same types of coaches, BP, LMZs, and they're licensed for 200 as well. Yeah, so the entire rake is licensed for 200 km running, but for whatever reason, the game just will not allow it. So no LZBs. And we're just storming along at 100 miles an hour, basically, 160 km/h. Okay, what I'm going to do, because basically I happen to know from what the service pattern is on here that we're following a stopper, when it gets to like 3,500, I'll break down to sort of 100, and because basically, yes, I could absolutely leave the AF there to basically drive really aggressively, but we've got tons of padding in the timetable. We've got the ability to drive a bit more comfortably, not shake the punters to death. And yes, like I say, when we hit 3.5 there on that, I will drop it to. So a quick reminder of LZB symbology, I guess. That is our next speed restriction, and that is how far away it is. So currently in 4 kilometers, because that's how far the system can see, we'll be at 160, which is fine. Now it's saying at 3,800 meters, we'll be at 0. So that is basically the next speed restriction it can see. So that's a better way to say it, the next speed restriction it can see. So what I'll do, I'm just gonna, oh no, I won't. See, at the moment it's saying 160 because it can't see any speed restriction lower than 160, and that's for 4 kilometers. It'll just be to get your attention because it's quite easy, obviously, as you can imagine, if you're driving along here. So just zone out a bit. Okay, it's now slowing me off because I got distracted looking for my notes. And what I'm going to do is just keep slowing this off. Use a high level of dynamic. Good aspect for us. What I'll do is just take the dynamic out, reposition to the ton, and I'll take a chunk of power. So brake off, power on. So basically I'm just going to keep the train at 100 and run it along there. It's some chat. So what have I been up to? Anything exciting, anything interesting? Yes, actually I did a photo shoot with with a wonderful photographer friend of mine for cosplay purposes. He basically took 1 or 2 photos of me on his phone just for experimental stuff, and it's one of my favourite pictures of me in that gown. I'm so glad I got it, and yeah, it's going to be some fun ones. Sorry, that was fun. Oh God. Okay, so why have we got no traction lock? There we go. So I'm just selecting 100 because basically what we're doing is we're following a stopping duster. Sorry, not stopping duster, a stopping talent. So he's stopping at Gerishane. He's currently in, well, leave it. So yeah, just stopping at Mark and Sachs. And then after that, we've got one more stop, well, 2 more stops. So we'll just be, yeah, one of those is what we're following. So we're just creeping around behind him. So what I'm doing is just letting the train accelerate a bit, pick the speed up slightly. Oh, sorry, not accelerate a bit, sorry, stay at a slow speed, not pick the speed up, and then just basically stay at whatever his average speed is. So therefore, I'm not catching up and I'm not losing him. So it reduces minimum amount of capacity, but it just means for our punters, it's a comfier ride. You can see so the first class people back here. I've got no tail lamps on this, which is an oof. I mean, to clarify, power's definitely on. If they haven't turned on coach lights, what can I do? Where's this train off to? This train is off to Praha nádraží, kde vlaky dnes svou jízdu končí. See, it's pulling us down below 100 now. So if anything, even 100 was too fast. But also, it's still a kilometre to go, so I'll just leave it at 100, so that way, when we can accelerate again, it puts us back up above 100. There you go. What I'll do is just take gentle power, so that we get up to 100. And then it's not a jolt as the power comes off. That's the DSD, so it's very easy just to get lulled into a sense with CIFA. So CIFA obviously is a vigilance device, or a DVD to use the technical term, I guess, or the technically accurate term. And it's very easy just to sit here and go and just spam the Q key every time I hear a tone. It's also interesting that these are our like signal posts for LZB signaling. These obviously for colour light. So if you run down here and you don't have the ability to operate under LZB, you would still follow the colour light signals. It's interesting. It's basically sort of dual control track effectively, or dual signal, sorry. So it's got a colour light overlay. But you'd think that the signal posts for LZB, so LZB wouldn't allow me to creep up right behind the train in front. It's still going to put me a distance behind it. And that's why we have those posts. They're not designed to be sighted from a distance, but they're just a sign with a number on it. So if I have to ring the signal, I can say, hello signaller, driver of EC279 here, standing at signal 109. And that way we have an agreement as to where I am. I'm not aware of sort of the rules for degraded operation on LZB, so I'd have to follow you have to speak to someone who actually knows what they're talking about for that. But it's just designed for you to draw up to it and talk about it. But like I say, in my head, it makes sense for it to be in the same place as the colour light signals, but also I guess it makes sense for it not to be as well. You can see the train's slowing itself off here. This isn't even me. So, what time I actually do this? 7:06. So, we've got an hour till Dresden. You guys keep asking for longer videos, but you're getting them. Now, I enjoy this route, to be fair. It's a good little route that they've come up with, that they've brought. I am probably more of just a UK route person in general. But there you go, you can see we're being drawn down 400 metres, so it's just holding us at a constant brake hand. So that higher pitch, as soon as that higher pitch sounds, basically the brakes come on within a few seconds. I was telling us to do this as far as Riesa, but no, I can still go all the way through to Dresden. I also just realised that we did it the other way on the Vectron, on this exact Vectron actually. But oh well. I feel like I've driven the ice a lot recently on the channel, and the Vectron is a fun loco to operate. So if I just take the throttle out, so we numb on what we don't accelerate, that is the signal for us to drop to. So you can see it's not designed to be sighted from a distance, but it's designed for us to drop to it and go, like I say, hello signal, driver of 279 here, at signal 0129. Oh, what's that coming the way, I wonder? Oh, there you go, pulled off. But it just shows what that check down would look like, I guess. One. So basically what we're waiting on is, you've got one more stop, and then he gets pulled in at Versen, and we go around him. Like I said, I love the Vectron. Just even watching it moving around. I know it's completely in the wrong country for a model railway, but I kind of want one. What I'll do is I'm just going to set 160 because I know the next time it steps up it'll be 160. Let's see if I set 200 what actually happens. It is interesting to watch how this responds to LZB. No, it's 160. Ooh, interesting. Some like within the realms of the 200? No. That's when it's supposed there. Looks like the train take care of itself here. Like I say, I'm fully hands off and it's checked itself down appropriately, sorry about that, appropriately to a stand in the area I expected it to. There you go, and that is, we've now been released to 110-ish for some reason. Oh, that'll be just, yeah, the next signal's not past that point. I thought it was further, my bad. we'll go to like a little bit of power basically. Yeah, 20% power, not much. Because that train ahead is pulling into the loop now, so we should get pulled off momentarily. Yeah, going from Torgau to Vösen. S4. Momentarily, you should see this pull up. There you go. That's the route now been set for us, so just going to full power. Oh, I'll just set idle for now. Yeah, so it's a slight brake application. We're following something again. I'll just put it into idle, but that was the train that we were following. But I think it is good to have like the occasional signal check like that, and then there's a unit waiting to come out sidings. Lovely sunrise, gorgeous sunrise. One of the things about early earlies is you see some amazing sunrises. So yeah, anyway, everybody got stuff to talk about. So the Czech route, I guess we could talk about that, because that's not that far from here. It's basically, if you were to just continue from here into Czechia, it's pretty much, that's sort of the northern area of Czechia, sort of between, well, that sort of borderland, or what Hitler would call the Sudetenland. But yeah, anyway, wood. So I'm excited for that. That looks actually pretty cracking, and there's a decent number of screenshots out of it now. So I'm imagining it's not too far off. I don't think we'll see it this year, but like certainly sort of summer next year, I guess. I'd expect to see it by. I wonder what this LZB signage then, because we're already on LZB signaling. But yeah. Now, aside from that, so yeah, that is good. So I'm excited for that because that's got the binocular, the goggles, as the British love to call it. That is a pretty iconic Czech logo, and then it's got the 854, the coffin, which is a pretty iconic sort of rail car / motorsport unit, and you know it's. Again, it's I've wanted to check it in Train Sim World for a long time. Like back when I was at Dovetail, I wrote a proposal to do the Prague assembly in Train Sim World. So that would have been Prague main station, Prague Avenue, up to Prague Airport. So probably an 810. Well, actually, we wouldn't put a Haliben. Because Luben gives you the freight yard, and then you can actually do like shunting in the yard and stuff. But so much possibility for stock, so much possibility for stuff to do stuff with. But alas, it's actually switch to the bright headlights for a bit. Yes, so Capture gets off the Vectron in case you're unfamiliar. Gustavo, not operative. Emergency brake plunger. PZB controls. PZB override, PZB release, PZB acknowledge. Pan down, pan up. VCB controls. Train supply, which obviously we've already turned on many times. These are all the different sort of setups that the Vectron can speak. So it can do Dutch, French, Swiss, Austrian, and German, and obviously all the different voltages. So although we're running on 15 kilovolts AC, you can do 25. It can do the Dutch 1.5 as well, and French 1.5, Belgian, Polish, Czech, Slovak, Swedish, Slovene, Hungarian, Slovak. Thank you. Pretty cool in that sense. Not sure what that is in real life. I see cameras. So the outside of the train has these cameras on it outside the loco. That's fine. We're just running at speed still. So you tap on that and they'll pull those cameras up on there. Settings. So this is how the train's set up. So but I'm just going to have to. I believe that is basically how many kilonewtons of brake force you get. If you go into emergency, so you got 150 kilonewtons, 240, we'll do 240 because why not? Stopping fast is always better. That's how much the train will pull, which is 300 kilonewtons, which is fine. That's what we want. Oberstrom, no idea what that is. No idea what that is. PZB mode. UMNO. I'll double check. I think Modo is what it's supposed to be. I'll double check. Yes, PZB mode O, normal, you have max speed of 165 before it starts kicking in. M is maximum of 125, U is maximum of 105. So basically, the worse you train, the more you need. And then you've also got Bremsart, which is your brake forces. So we're in R, which I believe is like basically high speed train. And then content train 99 apparently. Oh well, AFB and headlight controls. So for example, on the rear, I wanted to turn on one white light like we're shunting. One comes on. Or just turn that back to the no lights position. There we go. Yeah, that's your one of your. I forget what the term for those screens is. Basically, one of your screens. AFB controls, city speed set, glorified speed set. Combined power brake controller. So full power at the moment is fully away. If I pull it fully to me, that'll take full dynamic brake. Center point is neutral. Sanding, brake release, headlights, master lights for internals. Brake lever, that's your air brakes. Your train brakes, loco brakes, reverser, desk. So technically that's the brake key. So that basically allows you to control the brakes from this cab. Cab key, which energizes the desk, and the horn. That's basically the stuff you need to know about. This screen doesn't really work. I have a function at the moment, and that is the Abula screen. There you go. Alright, yeah, not much to talk about still, it's just bobbing along. I love how tactile the Vectron cab is. Like everything feels chunky and nice. Just to show you the map where we are. Closer to Riesa than we are to. Oh, we're right close to Riesa. Cool. So the line speeds are coming back to 160, which is fine, which is what we're going to be expecting to run at. There you go, 160. So that is the end of LZB monitoring. So back on to PZB. Once the PZB lights have come back on, and the LZB indication's gone away. What I'll do is actually knock us into idle. There is a 120 limit momentarily, so I'm just keeping my eyes out the cab for that. In fact, Leave it at 160 for now. One of the coolest things you'll see as well with this train is you've got over here, you've got an ammeter, so that's how many kilonewtons I'm drawing, that's my kilowatt hours used, that's my kilowatt hours regenerated even. Power 9. Voltage as well. But yeah. So at the moment we've used 169 kilowatt hours and we've regenerated 140, which just shows how much we actually regenerate with this train. I'm just going to put a tiny amount of air brake on and then really ramp up the dynamic. And basically the plan is I've got a tiny amount of air brake, which what that does is that just controls my my deceleration as it stops the coaches jostling, so basically all the coaches are braking, but the majority of the braking is coming from, so we're now regenerating 230, 240 kilonewtons off. Limited to 80 now, so brilliant, we're 85. Let the power off. Put the throttles in. You can see we regenerated 50 kilowatt hours of power during that braking application, which is genuinely quite impressive in my opinion. Also, I live in the UK. I pay something like £2 an hour for, so £2 a kilowatt hour. We've used 276. You guys how insane the power bill is for the railway now from this. We're now coming into Riesa Yard. I'll just coast it in now. I've got lots of tank wagons just kicking about here. So again, sitting on a 363 sitting over there. Quite a few 363s on this route. Which I think is probably realistic, to be fair. Wait, is it? No, that's a 294, isn't it? Yes, that's a 294. So there you go. Not quite a 204, but it's a 294. The 204 is one of those modules in Train Sim World that it was so much more promising than it was. It was more promising than it actually came out with. Like, that could have been a really class module. Or DLC, sorry. Under the bridge. And then goes fully towards. Oh god, okay, maybe not that much. Towards. I do need to get rid of these. I need to keep the markers because you do stop quite close to the markers usually, but I need to go into my settings and get rid of that. I always forget to. Rezone. Just let go of the doors and just fully apply the loco brake, which is a securing brake on this train. Get up out of the chair. Basically, time for us to close doors and go. Next up is Dresden Neustadt. So we'll lock the doors. We'll release the securing brake, let the train brake off, and we'll go. As we leave Dresden Neustadt for, as we leave Riesa for Dresden Neustadt. So, a fun fact: water towers, right? They survived a lot longer than coaling towers. Do you know why? At least in the UK. I can't speak for Germany. So in the UK, they survived substantially longer because they basically needed them. Because the way the train heating worked on all the new trains that they were bringing was steam heating. So obviously you heat the water up in a boiler, pump it down the train, but it doesn't come back. So as soon as you boil it off, you need to put more water in basically to replace it. And that was 120 limit. One of the reasons they had second men back in the day. I can go straight up to 120 here, yeah, pretty much. You can see we're well clear onto the bridge now. So I've tried to turn the train lighting on, it just hasn't worked, so oh well. Wow, that first class carriage is entirely empty. Oh, what was that going the other way? Oh, it's a mixed train. I want to see what it is. Let me see your loco. Oh, it's a 294. There you go. Show me your prettiness. We stay at 120 for some time now. Whoop. In fact, judging by this, I'm not sure we get above 120. I think we take the high speed, yeah, high speed portion to this, which you can potentially jump onto. So that is Roderio sidings, which is where all the freight services on the original line started. So you basically teardrop in through those houses to the main line. Yeah, you can. There you go. Okay, Radeon. There's another tracks waiting to come out behind us on a oil train. On tank train, I should say. And then there's car carrier going the other way, obviously. It feels like it should be more than 120, but no, it's 120. I mean, 80 limits, I suppose, are acceptable to me, which is basically what this is. Within a rounding error. Oh, 74, fair enough. That's a bit on the slow side, but yeah. Oh. Sorry, neutral section. I didn't turn the draw fully off, so we've drawn a massive arc now, but oh well. Oh, I have naked it, haven't I? Closing the circuit breaker. And we can draw power again. That's 143 on Havins. And a little bit of modal there as well. So for those of you wondering, looking at the map here, no, I'm scrolling the wrong way here. That was Glaubitz by Elisa. And the next station will pass through the 74.6 mile marker, and that's Nunchitz. I don't speak German, can you tell? Oh, crap. Yeah. 'We've been out here on the G6. We dropped some chemical tankers off there. We took them down to the works there. Nearly at the 130, which will be exciting because that is actually 80 miles an hour. I've just checked. I'm just like asleep. $130. How long actually is my train? 150 meters. Good. There we go. $160 posted for us. Yeah, we just jumped on the high speeds, so that was long enough. Oh, ice boy. First ice I've seen today. It's a double. So yeah, we're at 160 for now, 25.6, though we need to get 120. Just re-reviewing, or reviewing I should say. That's at 2k, yeah, I'll just do it now. There you go, there's one, oh, that was 121, that's embarrassing for all involved. No. Again, in the grand scheme of errors to make, being at 120 a bit early is fine. So again, just to show on a map, Rees is up here, we're now snaking our way down here, and we basically come off onto this spur. That's Dresden Neustadt. That's a big carriage sidings, I believe. And then that's Dresden, Ausbahnhof, where this video will end. That was the 120 limit, so we are now well within it. Righty. So yeah, hopefully everyone is doing mighty fine today. Like I said, I'm not even sure what day this goes out on anymore. That's how like just gone mentally I am. No, I'm actually excited to be back at work this week. So I am doing a Edinburgh on Wednesday, then York on Friday, double York, and then on Saturday I've got one hell of a trip. We're doing Durham Coast diverts, so it's down to York via Durham Coast, sit there for an hour, come back up to as far as Edinburgh, sit there for an hour, and then go home. So it's like just short of a 10-hour day. Not so long, no matter how you cut it. How you cut it. Should we let the scenery pop there? And the extension post isn't situated better. 22.4. Okay, that's a 70 warning. I'll take heed of that. That'll be a TSR probably. Aim without a magnet I didn't see. Apologies for that. That was my wake up alarm going off, which I didn't realise happened. Brain. Brain. Brain, brain, brain. Brain, 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 brain. Brain, 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 brain. Yeah, it was a TSR. Oh well. Oh, it's falling asleep. There you go. Yeah, so it was a TSR for 70. $140. As you can see, we've got the full train through now. We are a very short train today. Like, a Vectron is absolutely overbuilt for this. It was almost dark when we left Dresden. Oh no, we're Bang Road now for some reason. I'll chuck it into idle. This is fascinating. Game, are you mad? I just randomly got 300 points there. Well, I'm pretending that didn't happen. I got up to 160, and then it's down to 120 at the 12.9 mile post. So I'll break at like 14. Yeah, we'll show how quickly this thing can slow down based off its stuff. This is our last time at 100 miles an hour today. With that overnight express. Absolutely fine, just hammers the brakes on, this thing does. Just slow down. You can see we're now entering the outskirts of Dresden. I'd swear blindly that's a Kuju building. That's an asset basically from MSTS, that's in Trains and World. Swear blindly that was. Might be wrong though. Prospect at 100. Is that another TSR? No, it's not a TSR. Interesting. It's interesting to see the difference as well between the Dresden S-Bahn and the Leipzig S-Bahn. One's got Justos, one's got Talons, basically. That's quite cool. And apparently we're licensed 160 here. So you get one more blast at 160, I was mistaken. I thought we looked like at 100. That was cool. We heard the announcements from the station coming through the cab. It's probably quite a loud announcement. Quite a loud announcement if you can hear it from the cab of a passing train. Wave to the 101. Top and tail 101. That's cool. Hopefully we'll get a expert timetable for this route. Not even just a sub mod. That subs the top and tails out for the cab cars. Let's go idle at 160. Chatty Duster though, with a 143 pushing by those things. Got the Railway Museum up on the left. Heritage Depot, I should say. More accurate plane. Put a bit of power back on. So probably going to be late at Dresden, I'm not going to lie. But oh well. That's another different kind of talent coming the other way. We'll give them a wave. Okay, it wants us at 85. There's box 85. It annoys me. Like I say, it doesn't. Piece of B, like C for fair enough, that gives you an alert, but like LZB just doesn't. And there's times like I don't even know what I saw, what I missed. Like, I didn't even think I saw a magnet around there. Do I fail to acknowledge a signal, I guess? Probably, that must be what it is. I do love that morning lighting. There we go, got power again. Why is it slowing me down? Why is it checking me down? Interesting. So the cool thing, like I say, with the Vectron, in full power, it knows it's in restricted monitoring, so it won't let me overspeed. So it just gently eases me off and holds me at 40. No, moo, okay. Fine, if you'll take that, I'll take that. Doors on the left, so neutralised, brake on. Doors on the left. Oh, again, love noise adaptation. In here, the lighting is generally pretty spot on. Slightly worse than it was at Leipzig, to be fair, but like if I, aside from this being, no, actually that doesn't work, I wonder why. But at Dresden, it was like the artificial lights in the station worked absolutely spot on. Alright, we're away. again because we came in late. Everyone's on, everyone's off. Close the door. Shut the doors. In the chair. Brake comes off. I'll quickly just adjust my IFN. See again, like looking at the sort of the rails, they give me that uncanny is this real life thing occasionally, with the way the lighting treats them. I'll go a bit further forward, so. Probably not a thumbnail in itself, but it's a pretty cool view, right? There you go, released up to 80. It is basically 80 all the way into the station, and there's 50 in the station limit to call. I do love sort of rumbling over this bridge. It feels very different. I think it's the oh no, that is a mosque. That's cool. Yes, is it? I can't remember what the word is for like that thing on the top of the mosque, but yeah. Is it a mosque? I'm gonna say it is. I think we're just tempted to check now, or else we could drive a train. So what station is this? Oh, you got the hand wagons with the 218 on them. Yeah. Bollocks! What was that station? Dresden Mitte. In real life, it's a former cigarette factory. Oh, borrowing elements from mosques. Is cigarette smoking haram? Asking for a friend. In fact, it does look quite cool, but honestly, that yeah, to haram. Yes, smoking is haram. Oh no! Oh, that's interesting. So reasons why smoking is considered haram: prohibition of self-harm, financial waste, harm to others, addiction, loss of control. That's genuinely really cool. Like, so I went to a Catholic school, so I didn't learn much about religion, or other religions, I should say. I learned a lot about Christianity, and I can argue the Roman Catholic Church's point on most stuff, but I do sort of feel like that'd be a 60 coming at the platforms. That's flagging us for. Downstairs. Again, those announcements a little bit. All those pings there probably a bit too loud because, like I said, the cabs are pretty well soundproof on modern locos. Like I know on a Zoomer or 800, quite routinely I'll be at the door as we're pulling into Newcastle, and a 156 will rumble past 156 at stationary. Will stop. It'll then sort of go like continue to its routing at the front of the train. Our train. There was nothing there. My God. Radio Springer. That's interesting. So I spammed it 3 times. So I was trying to do like a tuk, like Eric, but yeah, it just plays the voice 3 times. Yeah, it won't let me release it, which is fine, I guess. The station is literally there. As we arrive into Dresden. That's quite the journey on board the Vectron. Like I say, another driver will take it over from us here and continue on the way to Prague. As random 101 jumped out of the way. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I quite enjoyed making it. You know, I'm going off German stuff again, unfortunately, but glad to have got this recorded, got this knocked out, you know. It's one of those that I did want to get knocked out just due to obviously Train Sim World 6, and it's one of the launch routes. I may do more this time, but that'll be a couple of weeks because I about understand PZB, LZB, CIFA. I don't understand X's at all. There we go. Doors on the left. Neutralise. High brake up. AF bet off. Zeroized. Yeah, it's turned itself off. Cool. So we'll hand over to our next colleague who'll take it forward. That was fun. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Tatty bye.